Hello everyone, in this video I will answer the steps of meiosis, but before that you should know our body needs meiosis for creating sex cells, or we can call it gamete cells, or we can call it egg in female and sperm in male. How does that happen? Meiosis takes 8 steps in the book, and how does that happen? I will explain it step by step. Step number 1, if we look at the figure, we see that there is a chromosome. There is a chromosome and there's another chromosome. These two chromosomes are homologous chromosomes, which means they have the same type of gene on them. This chromosome, if it has a gene for eye color, this chromosome has the same type of gene, which is eye color. So we call these two chromosomes homologous chromosomes. During meiosis, each chromosome creates its own copy. Each chromosome makes its own copy. So as we see, what do we see in the figure? One pair, that's a chromosome and that's another chromosome. They are besties. These two, that's a chromosome and that's a chromosome. We call them besties because they are homologous chromosomes and they have the same types of genes. During meiosis, each pair of homologous chromosomes creates its own copy. So if it comes in national, it says, what are these? You see, it's one pair, that's one chromosome and one chromosome, and with their copies. So one pair of homologous chromosomes. And if it asks what are these two, you say these are two chromatids, because the chromosome with its own copy, we call them chromatids. But this chromosome with this one, they are homologous chromosome. But when they make their own copy, the chromosome and the copy, we call them chromatids. Let's see what happens during meiosis. First, you should know that these are pair of homologous chromosomes and these two are chromatids. During meiosis, before meiosis begins, the chromosomes are in thread-like forms. Before meiosis begins, how are chromosomes? Before meiosis begins, chromosomes are like that. They are thread-like. Okay? But before meiosis begins, chromosomes are thread-like form. Each chromosome makes an exact copy of itself. There's a chromosome, makes what? Exact copy of itself. Look at the figure. During meiosis, each chromosome makes exact copy of itself. Okay, before meiosis began, the chromosomes are in thread-like form. Each chromosome makes an exact copy of itself. If each chromosome makes exact copy of itself, it means 46 chromosome becomes 92. Okay. From forming two halves called chromatids. The chromosomes and with their own copy, we call them chromatids. The chromosomes then thicken and shorten, just like mitosis. Chromosomes thicken and shorten into a form that's visible under a microscope. The nuclear membrane disappears. That's step number 1 of meiosis. What happens? So in step number 1, chromosomes before meiosis are thread-like strands, but they grow thick and short, and each chromosome makes copy of itself. We call them chromatids. That's step number 1. If each chromosome makes copy, it means the first step, 46 chromosome becomes 92. In step number 2, each chromosome is now made up of two identical chromatids. We said that each chromosome is made up of two identical copies. Now we call them chromatids. We explained that in this step. Similar chromosomes pair with one another and the paired homologous chromosome line up. So the keyword of this step, if we see that, it says the homologous chromosomes line up at the equator of the cell. In this step, we can see that. In step number 2, I said this chromosome with this chromosome are homologous chromosomes. But in step number 1, I said each chromosome makes copy of itself, which we call it chromatid. These two were besties, they were homologous chromosomes. So in step number 2, homologous chromosomes line up. When you saw this figure, you see that homologous chromosomes have lined up with their own copies. That's step number 2. The keyword is homologous chromosomes have lined up. In step number 3, we see these homologous chromosomes. In step number 3, you see that the chromosomes separate from their homologous partners. So the besties in step number 3, as you see, the homologous chromosomes with their partners have separated. The chromosomes separate from their homologous partner and they move to the opposite side of the cell. So meiosis is for making gamete cells. In step number 1, each chromosome made copy of itself. That's step number 1. In step number 2, the homologous chromosomes, these were besties, but now they have their own copy. The homologous chromosomes have lined up. In step number 3, that one was bestie with this one, but now they have separated. So in step number 3, the chromosomes separate from their homologous partners and move to the opposite side of the cell. In step number 4 of meiosis, we can see that, just look at the figure. I said these two were besties, they were homologous chromosomes, but now they are in different houses with their own copies. So in step number 4, you can see the nuclear membrane that dissolved in step number 1. In step number 4, nuclear membrane reforms. And what else has happened? In step number 4, the cell divides. And the besties, which we call them homologous chromosome, now they are separated. But the pairs chromatids, the chromosome with their copies, which we call them chromatid, are still joined. So how does it come in exam? It shows you this figure. It says what has happened in this figure. It's obvious to tell. In this figure, the cell has divided. The nuclear membrane has reformed. And the chromatids are still joined. It's step number 5. In step number 6, they have completely separated. Each cell, we said 46 became 92, right? In step number 1, we said 46 has became 92. If they separate, if they go to different house, it means actually the normal cell has 46 chromosome. But then 46 chromosome, each chromosome makes copy, 46 chromosome becomes 92. In step number 5, I said they have separated, homologous chromosome with their copies have separated. So this cell gets 46, this cell gets 46. Which step is it? It's step number 5. In step number 5, it says each cell contains one member. That one was bestie with this chromosome. Or this chromosome was bestie with this chromosome. They were homologous chromosomes. But in step number 5, it says each cell contain one member, only one of the homologous chromosome in it. The chromosomes are not copied again. The chromosomes are not copied again. They don't become 92 again. So during meiosis, how many times chromosomes copy? How many times nucleus copy? Only once. Only once 46 becomes 92. Done. So during meiosis, how many times chromosomes copy? You say once. But how many times cell divide? You see that there's a cell division here and there's another cell division here. So during meiosis, cell divides twice, but chromosomes copy only once. Okay, that's step number 5. The figure comes. You see two cells, and you see each cell has a member of homologous chromosome. So how do you write it? You say, in this step, that's step number 5, each cell contains one pair of homologous chromosome. Okay, and the nucleus is not, or chromosomes are not copied again. Step number 6, if you see that, now it's time for chromatids for separate. In step number 6, the chromosomes, when it says chromosomes in here, it means chromatids. The chromosomes line up. So in step number 6, we have two cells. And what has lined up? Chromatids have lined up. In step number 7, you can see that we have two cells, but they are about to be 4 cells. In step number 7, you say chromatids pull apart. Chromatids have pulled apart. They have moved to the opposite end of the cell. The nuclear membrane, in step number 7, the nuclear membrane reforms again, and the cells divide. So if you look at the figure, you see 3 things. First, the chromatids is separated. They move it to the opposite side of the cell, the chromatids, and nuclear membrane reforms. The last thing, the cell is about to divide. The 2 cell is about to be 4 cells. The last step, the result is 4 new cells. They are not normal cells. They are eggs in sperm. The result is that 4 new cells have formed from the original single cell. So it was one cell which had 46 chromosomes. At the end became 4 cells, which this cell got 23. This cell got 23, this cell got 23 chromosomes, this cell got 23 chromosomes, this cell got 23 chromosomes. So before, the cell had 46 chromosomes. Then nucleus copied became 92. The cell divided became 46. The cell divided again, so become 23. That's meiosis. So there are some notes about meiosis. You say that meiosis creates sex cells or gamete cells or egg and sperm. During meiosis, nucleus, or we can say chromosomes, how many times they copy, how many times 46 becomes 92? Once. But how many times cell divide? Division. How many times cell divide? We can see there's a division here and there's a division here. So the cell division, we have how many division? The cell divides twice. How many cells produce? 4 cells produce. How many chromosomes inside these cells? Meiosis makes cells that have number. What does it mean, half number? It means normal cell had 46, but the last 4 cell had 23, which is the half of the original cell. That is meiosis. So, meiosis creates sex cells. If we see the steps during meiosis, 46 became 92. Then the cell divided, this cell got 46, this cell got 46. In step number 7, they divided again. This cell got 23, this cell got 23, that one got 23, that one got 23. What's the difference between mitosis and meiosis? That's so important. Mitosis and meiosis. Meiosis created sex cells, but mitosis created normal cells. Mitosis at the end, 2 cells produce, but meiosis at the end, 4 cells produce. Mitosis, the cells had the cell that formed, for example, 46 became 92, but at the end, the new cells got 46 too. So the cell have normal number of chromosomes. But during meiosis, 46 became 92. The cell divided once, became 46, but the cell divided twice, become 23, 23, 23, 23. During meiosis, nucleus copied once, and meiosis and mitosis both nucleus copies once. But during mitosis, cell divided once, but during meiosis, cell divided twice. So cell division in mitosis, it's once, but cell division in mitosis, it is twice. So let's answer some questions about meiosis and mitosis in the national exam questions to get the idea how the questions will come about mitosis and meiosis. If you look at the question number 2, it says, which of the following related to mitosis? Number 1 says producing sex cells. Sex cells, meiosis makes sex cells. Producing most body cells, yes, our body cells is created by mitosis, normal body cells, and our bone cells, skin cells, muscle cells, they are all came from mitosis. So most of the body cells have came from mitosis. C is correct, but I cannot decide till I read B. B says the original body cells are not divided. It means during mitosis, cell does not divide, but I explained it for you. I said during mitosis, chromosomes copy once, 46 becomes 92. Then cell divides, becomes 46. So during mitosis, cell must divide to create 2 new cells. So B is not correct. The cell must divide. And it says are not divided. So B is incorrect. D, it says B and C. B was incorrect, so we can choose B. The right answer is only C. Number 3 is related to, it says, which process makes sex cells? We know that meiosis creates sex cells. Question number 5, which one is related to meiosis division? Let's see. It says meiosis creates 4 cells. That's true. But it says each cell contains 46 chromosomes. No, each cell must have 23 chromosomes. So A is incorrect. B says nuclear divides twice. That's true. Nucleus divides twice. How? During meiosis, cell is 46, becomes 92. Nucleus copies once, 46 becomes 92. And the cell divides once, becomes 46, then divides again, becomes 23, 23, 23, 23. So cell divides twice. C is correct. B says producing sex cells, which is correct, and each cell contains 23. It's correct too. So the answer is B and C, which is D. It says B and C. Question number 7. In meiosis, chromosomes are copied twice. I said they copy once, but the cell divides twice. Division is twice. The nucleus copies once. It says copies twice. There's only one copy in meiosis and mitosis. B, the nucleus divides once. No, the nucleus divides twice. B, incorrect. It's C, 4 cells produce. That's true. 2 cells produce. Incorrect. The right answer is C. Question number 9, mitosis. Let's see which one is true for mitosis. The nucleus divides once. True. The nucleus divides twice. That's for meiosis. The chromosomes are copied twice. That's not correct. C, the chromosomes are not copied. No, they copy, but they copy once. So the right answer is only A. Question number 10. Human body cell, normal cell, has 46 chromosomes. But in mitosis, chromosomes are copied once. That's true. The 4 cells produce. No, 4 cells don't produce. Nucleus divides twice. No, nucleus divides once. 6 cells produce. No, so the right answer is only A. Question number 13. Process of the body cell. What makes body cell? Mitosis makes body cell. Number 15. If normal cell has 14 chromosomes, so how many will be in 6 cell? We say 6 cell have half number. Half of 14 is 7. In meiosis, nucleus divides once. No, nucleus divides twice. So A, incorrect. B, divides twice. It's true. Chromosomes don't divide, they must divide. And normal cells are produced. No, meiosis creates 6 cells. So the right answer is only B. Question number 17. 2 pairs of homologous. Which figure has 2 pairs of homologous chromosome? This figure, that's a homologous chromosome. That's another chromosome. They are besties. So 2 has homologous chromosome. And 3 has homologous chromosomes and they have lined it up. So 2 and 3 both are correct. The right answer is 2 and 3. A, there are chromatids have lined it up. A, incorrect. D, chromatids have lined it up. Incorrect. Which one? Their chromatids have separated in number 1. In number 4, chromatids have lined it up, but it says homologous chromosome. 2 and 3. Question number 18, it says 7 pairs. 7 pairs means 14. So how many will be in 6 cell? 7. Question, which step of mitosis happens occur in this step? Which step of mitosis it is? You can see that chromatids have pulled apart. So the right answer is, it's about the step of mitosis and it's the 4th step. Chromatids pull apart, it's A. Question number 22. Which step chromosome is copied? It's mitosis. Which step is the first step? It's number 3. Number, how do meiosis differ from mitosis? How do meiosis differ from mitosis? During meiosis, chromosomes are copied twice. No. When you saw copy, meiosis and mitosis, both nucleus copies once. So copy twice is not correct. During meiosis, 2 different cells produce. No, during meiosis, 4 cells produce. During meiosis, nuclear divides once. No, during meiosis, 92 becomes 46, then 46 becomes 23. So the nucleus divides twice. So it means C is incorrect. D, it says each new cell resulting from meiosis has half number of chromosome. Yes, 46 becomes 23, so it has half number. So the right answer is D. Question number 25. Which step of meiosis homologous chromosomes line up? Besties line up. In step number 2, you see that homologous chromosomes have lined up. So the right answer is 2. Question number 27. It says which one is homologous? Number 2 are the pair of homologous. Number 1 is chromatids, pair of chromatid, but number 4 is pair of homologous. Question number 29. Which step, it's meiosis, in which step of meiosis separate from their chromosomes, separate from them homologous parentheses? It means besties have separated. Which one besties have separated? That is number 4. Besties or homologous chromosomes have separated. The right answer is 4.